Good evening, everybody. Harvey Lynch here, and welcome to another episode of Crown Business TV. Let me ask you a question. Would you like to be making better decisions in your business right now? Well, stick around because we've got a very special guest on tonight to chat about how to better your thinking with your decision making right now with your business and its people. Right now, a lot of business owners that are affected by this coronavirus are having to make shifts and adjustments in their business to be able to cope with the maybe restrictions that are placed upon them by the government, or with the boundaries placed on them by regional travel, that sort of stuff. And making better thoughts and better decisions in your business is paramount to being able to survive this crisis right now, but also thrive on the other end. So we're going to bring on a special guest to chat about that very shortly. But before I do, I want to chat about Crown Business TV. It was supposed to be a big launch this year, and unfortunately, because of this coronavirus, we thought we'd throw it out there sooner so we could actually get more professionals, more people chatting about how to deal with this crisis in front of you right now. So we hope you get a lot of value out of what we're doing here, and the professionals and the people we're bringing on to chat about what's happening out there for people right now. So I want to bring on a special guest. Her name is Kerry Horte Rowe. She's waiting for us now. I'm going to bring her on. And Kerry Horte Rowe is a founder and owner of Brain Thinking. She advises businesses on how to create amazing workplace environments for their staff and their clients. She understands how hard business is these days. Standing out in a crowd is getting very tough, but one of the key factors in a business is its people. She advises on how to get the best out of your people so that your business can shine above its competitors. She can help you and your people get better results through better thinking, better performance, and a better business. She's also a mother and a grandmother. However, she feels and acts nearly every day like she's just 25 years old. So welcome. Thanks for coming on, Kerry.
Hello, how are you, Harvey?
Very well, thanks. Kerry, I want to start off by chatting a bit about Brain Thinking and the brains behind it and the work that you do. Could you give us a bit of insight on that?
Yeah. It sort of goes back actually around about 16 years ago is when I lost my husband to leukemia. And the company I was working for around about 9-10 months later took us through a great analogy of able to look after and see as to how we thought and how we would perform. So what we did is that when we heard that we were doing this analysis, we just thought, oh, great, another, performance thing as to how they're going to work it out. And we'd done so many being in sales. But this one was really different because this was the core of how we think, how we make decisions under pressure, how we relate to those around us, whether it be your partner, your parents, your work colleagues, your bosses, whoever it was. And it totally actually changed my life, that I was able to make better decisions after losing my husband, and I was able to take the emotional side out of it. So that's really hard. And so bringing it forward to today, several years ago, I helped a woman start a business, and then we're going as to where we're going to go now. And then we started Brain Thinking. And the reason why I called it Brain Thinking is our brain never stops thinking. And even at night time is when it works its hardest to be able to mend all the little things that have gone wrong during the day. So that's how it got started. So I'm now a HBDI practitioner. And what I love about it is that, as I said in the beginning, it's about our core thinking. So it's from when we were children, and when you grow up, your thinking is still the same. It just grows as we get older. But the thinking still stays somewhere the same, because what you like as a child, usually you still will like, or whatever decisions you made, whether you made it really quickly or whether you made it emotionally or whether you were analytical. And so an example of that is I've got two of my older children. My dad would come down and say, I want to go into the shops, what would you like? And one would go straight, he would say, yeah, I'll get you a lolly or a toy. And one would go straight out and go, I'll have both. But the other one would think about it analytically, and he would work out which one he's going to get the longest benefit for. So he still does exactly the same now, and she still does the same. So as we take that thinking, when we're in business, if you like, for instance, if we just take things at the moment, if you are in business and you make decisions emotionally or quickly, you can actually make the wrong decision. And when we're under pressure is when we tend to make the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
But the other side of it is that
Yep.
if you procrastinate and take a little longer, you can also be behind the forefoot. You can actually not make the right decision, or you'll come in too late. So there's ways. So I actually help people work out how to get the best out of your thinking, how to work out which one you are, and how to be able to take that emotional side or analytical side or creative side in your thinking.
Yeah, so you work with clients on obviously their thinking using different techniques, I guess. You mentioned the HBDI, which is Herman Brain Dominance Instrument. Am I correct?
Yes.
And I guess that focused on the thinking side of things rather than, say, like a DISC profile, which is more behavioural.
Yes. Yeah. The one thing that I like is that it is the core thinking. It's that literally how you think. So there's no right or wrong profile. There's no right or wrong thinking. We can actually help you work out which you are more predominantly and build up your strengths and build up your weaknesses. So then from there, when you become in a really strong section of it, then it becomes behavioural, and that's when DISC will come in. And then you've got click, and then you can go on to all the others in Myers-Briggs. So they all work well together around the outside of HBDI, and it's great.
Right. Yeah, okay. And with business owners right now, obviously when the COVID-19 crisis came on, and there's still a lot of, I hear this word every day, uncertainty, probably not so much panic at the moment, although if you speak to an accountant, there's a lot of panic trying to sort out JobKeeper, job seeker stuff at the moment. But I think as far as making decisions in exactly how to change your strategies and pivot, another word that's getting used a lot at the moment, the level of thinking that is needed to focus on in that area because they are big decisions, and I think they're decisions right now that are going to affect the economy forever. Like to be able to make the right decisions based on what would you say that need to base it on right now? Things they can control?
Oh, look, it's a whole lot of things. It's easy just to say, look, you need to do this or you need to do that, but it all does depend on what your particular business is at the moment. You know, I've loved, seeing the creativity of a number of businesses, how they've changed of where they make a certain product and then they've changed that to actually making hand sanitizer, or the businesses who were restaurants, now they're doing takeaway. There is a lovely seeing all that creativity, and some have jumped on board straight away. And as I said before, some have waited a little longer to work out exactly what they want to do. You'll find that some will actually bury their heads and just go, I don't know what to do. There in that area, as far as the retail side of things, of where they've done that. The other side is where you've got a lot of businesses who have sent their employees home to work. This is one area that I've had a lot of questions on, and I've had a number of emails, is that when it comes down to human behaviour, is that if we were all really disciplined, we wouldn't have AA or Weight Watchers or, all these therapies that we go to. And the reason why I bring that up is that we're not disciplined to work at home. So most people aren't. That's why they go to work. There was a book written years ago called The Third Space, and this is actually what I do, is on these few people that I have helped now, is creating that third space. So say, for instance, you've always gone to work and now all of a sudden you're stuck at home. So you're in your office, or you're in a bedroom or the kitchen table working as to how you'd normally be. We've had now a couple of weeks, and we've also had Easter, which is 4 days of holidays. So people are now getting the lines blurred between home and work. And this is where you need to create the third space. So what I've done is that there is number one things that everyone should be doing. Whatever you did to go to work, you would get up, have a shower, have your breakfast, clean your teeth, get dressed. And that's what you need to do, because your mindset will tell you that you're actually getting ready to work and you need to go to work. Then whatever your time would be to travel, say if it was half an hour or an hour, use that time to either better yourself, listen to some podcasts or read a book or do some online training. And then when it comes to actually go into the office, I want you to get your briefcase or your handbag and you put it over your shoulder and you walk out the front door. You walk either down the street or you walk around the house. And I have heard of one guy who actually got in his car, drove around the block and then come back. And then you come into your work area and stay in that work area.
Right.
So does that make sense? So what it is, you're actually now creating so that you are leaving home, going to work and coming back. And our mind works better when we do that. So even if you were normally made your lunch, make your lunch the same time. Make your lunch and then go and have your lunch at that designated time that you would normally do. Check your phone, do all that. If you don't check your phone at work, don't check it while you're in the office. But if you're having lunch and you normally go for a walk, then go out the front door and walk up the street a bit or walk around the back or go and sit outside and have your lunch. And then you come back into work again. Put your phone away, because by creating those little things, you actually work so much better. And I had a great email from this young girl the other last week and saying, thank you so much. I have got so much done. She's working better. She feels like she's giving her employer so much more than what she would normally in the office. But they were too scared to actually say anything to the employer that they're not coping because they're scared of losing their jobs. Right. So this is where employers who have got people working from home, making sure that they are equipped and understand the difference between work and home. And then when you have finished work, you close that door, you put your laptop down and you don't touch it.
I know over the week before Easter, I was spending a bit of time at home getting some work done myself, and it is a particularly in the area of productivity, trying to get stuff done is a lot different when you're at home than you would be if you're at the office. Now, you spoke about employees battling this. What about with business owners themselves having to, I guess, keep an eye on things and on their employees at home and how things are tracking with productivity and that sort of thing? Do you have any insight on that area?
Well, it's just a matter of making sure that, if you still have your HR team on board, is that they understand about this of working from home. As I say, not everyone is disciplined, even though we're expecting the employees to be disciplined to work at home. So this is where I come in. So this is where I am available to be able to chat to the employees so that they can talk to me confidentially without the employer being around, that I can actually set a program for them and set out their times. Because everyone does work differently. You might find some people work better in the morning than they do in the evening, or vice versa. And we actually work out when they have lunch, when they have a break, and we set a program in place for them. We work out where they're going to have lunch. And once they did that, it just made so much easier. But also they told me about their concerns. Even though I'm not a counsellor, I am a hairdresser by trade from a while back. So people do talk to me. So I've been able to help in that way that gets their head in a right space for work.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. I think, it's happening worldwide at the moment, isn't it? People having to do stuff from home, and it's a huge thing. And I think out of this is going to cause and create some great innovations, like you mentioned earlier, Kerry, in regards to business owners having to come up with creative ideas on how to make things work. And it's only out of necessity and, well, probably not quite desperation, but absolutely necessity, that things all of a sudden get creative and things starting to innovate and work for the business owners. And I think it's actually, as much as that it is a really bad time at the moment, it's also very exciting in the fact that what we're seeing, business owners innovating and creating new ideas and ways of doing business. It's fantastic.
Oh, it is. It's bringing out the creativity in people. And when some people are under pressure, they're more creative, that they are able to think about things really quickly and what they can do, and then put processes in place. Or they may come up with an idea and then they'll say to someone else who is the process-driven person and saying, look, need you to fix this up. But as I said before, there are some that just don't know what to do, and they just come to a standstill. They just stop. Yep. But some are thriving in this because they have that creativity and they have that foresight of seeing as to what can happen in the future. But there is a lot of pressure on business owners of keeping businesses open, keeping their employees employed. There is a couple of businesses that I know that have said, look, the whole company has taken 15% pay cut. And the employees are really happy about that because it means that they're still employed, they're not driving, they're not buying lunch every day, so they're saving that money anyway, and it means that the company is now being sustainable, that they're able to work out a number of things. The other thing is what they're doing is they're having a Zoom catch-up once or twice a week. They have someone that does ring to make sure that everyone is okay and that they are coping. And so that was really nice to hear because it is hard. The other thing is that what came up with one of the women I spoke to is that she's very much a loner person. She likes to be on her own. She likes her weekends by herself. But she ended up in tears because she said, I don't realise how much I missed that interaction with the staff at work. And that has also messed with their mentality, that they've found it really hard to cope with work. So we've put a few things in place for them as to when to call people and who to call. Some people naturally lift you up, and we've put in processes of where they will actually call those people, ask them that you're going to be my buddy while I'm going through this. And within a couple of days, she was so much better, found it easier because she didn't feel quite so isolated.
Yeah, so I was going to mention a lot of whether it be owners or employees that do have personal issues outside of work, or whether it be work issues that they take home with them. Now those issues are in the same place, in the same environment, and it's probably boiling up, I guess, in some cases. And you just mentioned the buddy system, which I really like, as far as having an outlet, I suppose, on how to so we don't reach too big a boiling point for those people whilst they're at home.
Yeah, I actually just read something on Facebook a few minutes ago, and it's saying that in 25 or 30 years we're going to have people running the country that were homeschooled by alcoholics. So well, I thought that was actually quite good because, at the moment the fridge is there. I actually had this idea that I thought might go in with that song is you can touch this and don't touch this and don't touch this. And is that having the fridge, don't touch the fridge because you're at home. That's why I make it so that they make their lunch and they have exactly that. Because a number of people I've spoken to have all put on a few kilo because they're down, they're at home, they keep going, open the fridge, I'll have this as a snack. But they need to get on, as in touch, get on the treadmill, go for a walk around the house, stand up while you're working. There are a whole lot of things of where there is a lot of online help in the exercise program at the moment. And all of those work well because we're not going to work. We're not getting off the train. We're not getting off the bus and walking. We're not walking around the office. We tend to go from, 10, 15 steps from, the bedroom to the kitchen to the office. And it's not helping mentally because we need to create those endorphins going of when we move.
Yeah, it's you just gave me an idea of a standing desk on a treadmill, so I think that's a great innovation right there, Kerry.
Yeah, Well, I've got a TV where my treadmill is, and so you can even stick on a podcast. You can put something on and watch it while you're on the treadmill. You
Yeah.
don't have to sit in the same spot all the time, and this is why it messes with us mentally, because we're not separating work from home, and that's
Mm.
where it comes down to making sure the employers are making sure they're looking after themselves as well as their employees and their home life. There is I don't know what the statistics are, and I'm not even going to go there as to how many are trapped in a home that is not a good environment, and now they're living there, and so that is going to mess with their work. There is a whole lot of things that are going to come out of this, that is going to be great, and some are going to be not so good. So life after COVID-19 is going to be very different. I think a lot more businesses that were successful with working from home will do that. I think there could be, working from home 3 days a week and come into the office for 2. There is a whole lot of things that are going to change.
Yeah, particularly we've spoken about this earlier in the week, a lot about getting used to the digital age. I think business owners now are almost going to be forced to be able to, you need to be online with your business, because you not only do you have such better ways of getting in front of your customer, but obviously this crisis we're in now has just reinforced the fact that you need to be online. And whilst the statistics show that only half of Australian small businesses are online or do have a web presence, that percentage is going to increase quite quickly, in the fact that you need to be getting recognised online as well. So it's not just a matter of throwing yourself online. You've got to really change and use your methods about the way you think and the way you deliver your business, and making it work online. So, look, Kerry, if the people watching right now and those that watch later, what are the steps involved in getting help with you as far as bettering your making decisions and helping out with people and employees? What are the steps involved?
In what way? Of how to get in contact with me, or how I can help them?
How you can help them, yeah, and we'll finish off with your contacts, yeah.
Okay, so I can help them individually, where I do quite a bit of mentoring. We go through their thinking styles and how that puts the light bulb on. That it, in a way, helps them to be able to think better at work better at work, and it actually communicates with them so much better. Then from there, they're able to work out, okay, when is their energy point? Is their energy point in the morning, in midday, or the evening? Or are they generally, the same all the way through? And then whatever you don't work well at, you do that in your most high energy. So most of us will put things off till, the things that we don't like, we'll do later. But we tend to actually change that around. So we're doing that when we have the most energy. And what you do naturally, we want to make sure we're doing that when you have the least energy, because you can do that with your eyes closed. There is a number of things of where I can help, as in the business owners, with your employees, sitting down with each and every one of them through this. And like we were saying before, digital, I hate being in front of the camera, but I have been more in front of the camera in the last few weeks than ever. But it's sitting with them and talking to them, how they're working from home, what's working, what's not working, what do they think they need to change, where I can help them in working out a pattern for them on their best times. A lot of the businesses today often don't need to be that 9 to 5. There are some that work better sort of maybe from 12 till 12, and they can work those times. That's one thing beautiful about the digital age, is that you don't necessarily have to be on that certain time. And that's where the innovative businesses are doing really well. So they're not, doing that 9 to 5. And the other way is in the motivation. I actually do motivational speaking. So in that is where I help them out a little bit in my story. So we could even do like a Zoom, as in for a company, they can all come online and do a little bit of a motivational thing of picking them up and letting them realizing that it doesn't matter what you go through, but how you come out the other end. And this is another, COVID-19 is another one of those. It's all impacting us individually, and each of us are going to feel different about it and affect us differently.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And for those that do want to reach out to you, Kerry, how will they get in touch with you?
They can email me on Kerry Horte Rowe at brainthinking.com.au, or they can go to my website, which is www.brainthinking.com.au, or they can call me, and that number is also on the website.
No worries, and we'll put that in the comments as well. So fantastic, Kerry. Well, thank you very much for coming on tonight. It's certainly a time of massive brain domination, I suppose you call it at the moment. A lot of thinking and a lot of decision making going on for business owners and their employees, especially working from home. So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your insight on that matter. And if people want to reach out, like I say, your information will be in the comments underneath. So thanks again, Kerry, and we look forward to catching up with you again very soon.
No worries. Thanks, Harvey, and thanks, everyone. Bye.
See you later. Well, there you go, people. Brain Thinking, Kerry Horte Rowe. She's a specialist in the area of helping make decisions and helping better your people and better the work environment for everyone. So if you're interested in taking her up on that, I will get the information below very soon. But make decisions in areas that you can control right now and what you know are factual, and not worrying about the panicking of what everyone else is doing, I think is paramount. But making decisions, as Kerry said, in her way of making sure it's not emotionally based, that it's actually the right decision based on the best things for your business. So I hope that's really helped you out tonight. We look forward to catching up with you again next week on Crown Business TV. All the best for the rest of the week, and we'll talk to you all again soon. Thank you. Bye for now.